Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of these end times. One of my subscribers sent me a message just a few minutes ago that Pope Francis had suffered a head wound. And of course, I was immediately fascinated. So here is the article as it appears in, I believe this is the Telegraph out of Britain, and this is a Reuters article. Pope Francis lost his balance while riding in the Pope-mobile through a crowd in Cartagena, Colombia on Sunday. That would be today. Bruising his left cheekbone and eyelid, but he was not seriously hurt. The Vatican said he received ice treatment and was fine to continue his trip. Video images show the Pope hitting the left side of his face against a vertical bar on the Pope-mobile. And I'll put a link to the video below because it's quite interesting. He took quite a jolt on his face. And of course, it immediately reminded me of the book of Revelation, where the Antichrist suffers a fatal head wound. And of course, this wound was not fatal, and Pope Francis is not the Antichrist. However, I have explained before many times on this program, the Antichrist himself does not suffer the fatal wound, but rather one of his 7 heads. And those 7 heads, if you remember correctly, have names of blasphemy, and that simply means that those are the 7 most prominent religious leaders in the world who will support the Antichrist. And his number 1 supporter among religious leaders is the false prophet, and that would be Pope Francis, as I have been suggesting all along on this program. So let me show you this picture. It's quite interesting, and you can see he took quite a bump on his cheekbone, and if you look at his cassock, he's even got some blood stains on it. It's quite serious as far as that goes. And then there's more images of him with a band-aid over the cut on his eyebrow. So I would say this is not the wound spoken of in the book of Revelation because it's not fatal, at least not yet. Now remember, the Antichrist and the false prophet get together, and this wound to his head, his number 1 head, the false prophet, John says, as it were. In other words, it's a false flag. Will Pope Francis make this into a fatal wound? Will he see an opportunity here? You know, he claims to be the bishop dressed in white. And there are cases where blood clots can form or staph infections can get into a wound. So this is something for you subscribers to be alert to. Keep me informed of what you see. And thank you for letting me know about this case. And as always, if you would like to know more about my ministry here on YouTube, visit my thirdeaglemedia.com website.